My name is Jill Noakes, and I've lived in Austin 41 years. Oh, it's too difficult to explain how the city has changed in the last 4 decades, because when I arrived there was just basically college professors, cedar choppers, and state workers here. And so now Kiplinger report said that Austin was the top 10, number 1 in the 10 place to do business in the whole United States for 2010. So we've come from a sleepy little college town to being an international business center. So that's a big change. It's important to preserve the historic structures, the historic spaces, so that the stories don't get lost, so that people know about the people that were here before them, settlement, what work was done, how people made their living, how people got around. It's just a rich fabric about a city's history that we don't want to lose, and we don't want this place to be erased so that it's just a generic urban sprawl. And that's what we see at so many places in Texas. It's one giant outlet mall from corner to corner. So this is important to have those places that reflect regional character, flavor, the savory, the sweet, the whole thing. Hyde Park is a special neighborhood to me because this is where I've raised my family. It's where I've spent most of my married life. It's where I have my friends, not all my friends, but a good many of them, where I've experienced what a rich neighborhood environment can be. Pedestrian scale, stores on the corner, a multi-generational population. I'm particularly interested in parks, so there's a nice park nearby, and all of those things. Plus, it's centrally located, so that's why I felt really, really lucky to be here and raise my family here. One of the special but overlooked spots of Hyde Park is the Elizabeth Ney Museum, and it's deep in history. It's part of the park system. It's on Waller Creek. There's a lot about it that offers benefits to the neighborhood, both in terms of knowing about the past, but a place to go in today's times to enjoy and visit. That's why I'm interested in it. To me, at the Ney, the challenge there, and where there's been a lot of failure, is understanding the dynamics of landscape change. And for example, the recent grant sponsored some landscape renovation that was completely misunderstood and was a complete waste of money. And so you don't have many chances to get these things right. And so when you have experts come in and supposedly tell the city, the neighborhood, the neighbors what ought to be there, and they have no clue of how to make it happen. And we're talking about Blackland Prairie restoration. The result is a big mess and foists off a giant problem on the Parks Department for which there's no easy solution. So rather than improving the grounds, they've actually made them worse because they don't know anything about that. And that to me is a frustration when there's so little dollars to go around, and it's so exciting to get these grants after waiting so long, and they're completely misappropriated because the experts don't know what they're talking about, nor do they ask anybody for help for local conditions. So what we have there now is, some of the things have been cleared out, the building is revealed, but around it is a horrible weedy mess with a sign saying this is Blackland Restoration. And this is what I do professionally. I'm an ecological restoration specialist, and I have had a very hard time doing this many other places. I've failed more than I can claim success. So I know it's hard, I know it's daunting, and I think it's just a professional accreditation issue that ought to be looked at, so people who are posing as experts are really bona fide, have bona fide credentials that are regionally applicable, because otherwise now it's just a big problem for us, and it drains away any excitement we have about the restoration of the Elizabeth Ney Museum, this and many other aspects. So we're looking at a long-term maintenance, management, and reclamation plan that is, I don't know, I think it's hopelessly tangled up in a failed consultant recommendations.
If you could describe Austin in one word, what would it be?
Tolerant. I'm not a strict preservationist. I believe a lot in adaptive reuse. I don't believe in looking at something in one snapshot of time. I think preservation is like a palimpsest where you have rewriting, overlays, and that's the whole history of human habitation and settlement. I don't believe in freezing, freezing something when we know that we can make a building more energy efficient, we know we can make it safer, we know we could, a building that has been maybe abandoned and decommissioned for one purpose, like a restroom, could be reinvented as a snack bar, but if your preservation is so rigid where you can't change the windows or doors so that it becomes a different park amenity, to me that's a dead end. So I think it needs informed discernment, but the rigidity thing doesn't convince me. Things are about human life. They're not an empty monument.